This is how the Denver Broncos are going to beat the Tennessee Titans on Sunday. So, whenever I scout an opponent, I'm looking for two things. I'm looking for potential weaknesses that the Denver Broncos could attack, and conversely, I'm looking for potential strengths that they could use to attack the Denver Broncos. And in a previous video, we talked about Jeffrey Simmons as a strength for the Titans that the Denver Broncos are going to have to account for. Today, we're going to be talking about a big weakness on this Titans roster and what I think might ultimately be their downfall in this game, and that's their offensive line. At least on paper, this offensive line, as my friend Cecil Lammy would say, is not great, Bob. They've got several question marks. Pretty much every single position has a question mark, and it all starts off with their tackle situation. Last season, the Tennessee Titans drafted J.C. Latham in the first round out of Alabama. At Bama, Latham had predominantly been a right tackle, but Tennessee had a big need at left tackle, so that's where they plugged in Latham. The thought process was, okay, he's playing under a Hall of Fame offensive line coach in Bill Callahan. They should be able to transition him pretty seamlessly. Bill Callahan handpicked him, so I assume that Tennessee had that pick right from the jump, but Latham had a disastrous rookie season. 47 total pressures, 7 sacks, and 29 quarterback hurries allowed. 67.8 PFF pass block grade, which was 47th out of 87 eligible tackles, minimum of 20% of snaps played for their team. 57.0 PFF run blocking grade, which was 61st out of 83 eligible tackles, 7 blown run blocks. Latham's rookie season reminded me a lot of Garrett Bowles' rookie season here in Denver. That was a really tough season to get through, and Tennessee decided that they could no longer deal with Latham at left tackle, so they went out and signed Dan Moore Jr. as a free agent to play left tackle. He came over from Pittsburgh, and now Latham is going to go back to his natural position at right tackle. Hopefully this allows Latham to reach his ceiling, but this opens up a whole new can of worms with Dan Moore, who I don't think is very good. He had 41 total pressures last year with the Steelers allowed, 12 sacks allowed, and 26 quarterback hurries allowed. A 66.2 PFF pass block grade, 52nd out of 87 tackles, 61.7 PFF run block grade, again 52nd out of 83 eligible tackles. 12 blown run blocks. So they went out and paid him a bunch of money, and I don't know if he's going to be much of an upgrade over J.C. Latham at that position. And additionally, Dan Moore was listed as DNP on the Wednesday injury report with a foot injury. Now, just because you're DNP on Wednesday doesn't mean you're not going to play in the game, but the fact that Dan Moore is already dealing with an injury and there's already question marks about his level of play, the Titans have got some issues at both of their tackle spots, and Denver's edge rushers are licking their chops. Nick Bonito just got his contract extension today, and he no doubt wants to go out there and have a big day in his first game after that extension. I feel bad for the Titans tackles, and if Dan Moore can't go, then it's going to be Ollie Udoh at left tackle for the Titans, who's a veteran journeyman backup. So Nick Bonito, Jonathan Cooper, Jonah Ellis, and Dondre Tillman, I think all four of them are licking their chops because I think all four of them have potential to get at least one sack in this game with how poor this Titans tackle situation is. I will say, the bright spot of their offensive line is probably their two guard positions. They were able to coax Kevin Zeitler as a free agent. He previously played under Bill Callahan in Cleveland. Zeitler was in Detroit last year. He's historically been one of the best guards in football. That was the case last year as well. Allowed just 18 total pressures, 5 sacks, and 9 quarterback hurries. A 70.9 PFF pass block grade, 21st out of 78 guards. 87.2 PFF run block grade, third best out of 81 guards, just 4 blown run blocks. So obviously Kevin Zeitler is the best player on that Titans offensive line. And then at left guard, they've got Peter Skoronski, who's a former bust at tackle. He's at least decent. He's been able to somewhat revive his career as a guard. 28 total pressures last year, 4 sacks, 18 quarterback hurries allowed. 76.3 PFF pass block grade, 7th out of 78 guards, 54.4 PFF run block grade, 68th out of 81 guards. So Peter Skoronski, more of a pass blocking guard. Kevin Zeitler, more of a run blocker. So the Titans kind of have strength on opposite sides. And I think that the interior is still going to be an issue for Tennessee. Lloyd Cushenberry is coming off of a torn Achilles. Obviously, that's a name that Broncos country is very familiar with. Cushenberry ended up playing center for the Broncos for his first 4 seasons under his rookie deal, signed that big deal with Tennessee. Unfortunately, 8 games in, he went down with a torn Achilles, and before that point, he wasn't playing very well. 14 total pressures in 8 games. No sacks allowed, but he allowed 13 quarterback hurries or quarterback flushes from the pocket. 57.2 PFF pass block grade, 30th out of 41 eligible centers. 54.9 PFF run block grade, which was 37th out of 42 eligible centers. Again, 20% of snaps played in the pass and run game. 5 blown run blocks. So Cush was kind of struggling out there. He had that big season and a contract year here in Denver, but that might have been a fluke, and then obviously he went down with the season-ending injury. His first game back, I wouldn't want to be going up against this Broncos defensive line. He's going to be seeing a lot of DJ Jones one-on-one, Malcolm Roach as well. Obviously, he's going to be going up against the nose tackles predominantly. But Peter Skoronski and Kevin Zeitler, they're going to be dealing with John Franklin Myers and Zach Allen. I don't think this Titans offensive line is going to stand much of a chance against this Denver Broncos pass rush, and that's going to be the key to winning this game. Get pressure, especially with 4 guys. And you don't have to bring just a straight 4-man rush to get pressure with 4. There's simulated pressures where you can overload one side, make it look like you're bringing a bunch of guys, and then drop some of those guys back into coverage, overload one side, have a light front on the other side, and you can get pressure that way all the time. We see Vance Joseph running simulated pressures left and right here in Denver, and it's because they work, and the offense doesn't know who's going to come on that blitz. So, quite frankly, I think we're going to see a lot of that in this game, and even just straight up one-on-one matchups, I don't think this Titans offensive line stands much of a chance against Denver's pass rush, the tackles especially. I feel bad for them going up against Denver's edge rushers, especially Nick Bonito, after he just got his payday. He's going to be licking his chops going up against potentially a backup left tackle in Aliudo, and then a right tackle who's switching back to his natural position, but had big-time struggles as a rookie. They'll make sure Benito's got matchups on both, but Jonathan Cooper, of course, he's going to take care of the other side, and he's going to cause problems in his own right. So, yeah, man, this is not a fun situation for this Tennessee Titans offensive line to be in. Cam Ward is probably going to be under constant duress, and that's how the Denver Broncos are going to win this game, in my opinion. Get pressure on Cam Ward, make him uncomfortable, force him into some rash decisions. We're going to make a separate video talking about Cam Ward specifically and how I think he's going to handle the Broncos' pressure, but I expect the pressure to be relentless, and it's going to be for all 4 quarters in this game. All right, Broncos country, let me know in the comments section below. How do you feel about this Titans offensive line going up against the Broncos pass rush, and how many sacks do you think Denver's going to come away with in this game? Cam Ward might be able to get out of some of them, but he's not going to be able to get out of all of them. I think Denver could easily come away with 5+ sacks in this game, but let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, Broncos country. I would love to hear from you as always. Be sure to leave a like on this video as well, subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. I would really appreciate it, guys. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country just like you and me. And until next time, guys, I'm your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.